Welcome to the George Watts Montessori Media Center. Looking around at this colorful, chaotic room, you might think you see students here for their media specials time. Maybe they're learning to check out books from the library, or they're doing research using the school's technological resources. But something special is hiding behind these rows of bookshelves. This is Miss Carrender's Upper L class, and the Media Center is more to them than an important school resource. If you've noticed the size of this class, you're not wrong. It's twice as large as a normal Upper L class. This year, the Media Center is the classroom they call home, where they're being prepared to continue to bloom in their academic journeys after graduating from George Watts. How does a class of this size not only function, but flourish and thrive? The answer can be found in one person, Miss Carrender. This is Miss Carrender, and she is at the helm of this extraordinary ship. Her leadership and passion for teaching have transformed the Media Center into the perfect place for these kids to learn and grow. Miss Carrender has been an instrumental figure at George Watts for decades. She herself graduated from Watts in 1969, and her two daughters attended the school as well. She has been teaching here since the 1980s, and this is her last year before retirement. It's clear that she plans to leave Watts better than she found it. Whether she's commentating for a high-stakes game of pickup football at recess, or having a lighthearted conversation with students about their imaginative career ambitions, all of Miss Carrender's interactions with students are intentional, direct, and nurturing. She works hard to create individualized work plans for each student that best fit their academic needs and encourage them in their independence. Her AIG certification allows her to integrate AIG, or Academically and Intellectually Gifted, curriculum into students' weekly work, meaning that her classroom is never explicitly divided into AIG and non-AIG students. As Ms. Carrender herself says,
I'm AIG certified, so I do the AIG teaching for everybody in my class. It also gives me the opportunity that when I see a spark in a kid who may not be labeled AIG, that I can pull them in and they can get that same enrichment and just all feel part of it.
This promotes equity in the classroom and helps maintain a sense of community among students. Because the students are never divided, this class has an extraordinary spirit of collaboration and encouragement of one another. Whether they're working together to research other cultures, or cheering on their friends during important presentations, these students always find a way to lift each other up. The Montessori system of having mixed grade levels means that Ms. Carrender's 5th graders can serve as role models for their 4th grade classmates, and they form strong bonds through their collaborative efforts. One of the most common sights in Ms. Carrender's class is a group of students with their heads together, hard at work discovering the insights hidden within the lessons Ms. Carrender has carefully crafted for them. They're making discoveries within the 4 walls of the Media Center every day, not only about the valuable academic subjects Ms. Carrender guides them through, but about the process of cooperation and the value of supporting one another. Take, for instance, Vera, Ella, Sibu, and Evie. These 4 students are in a math group together, and even as they work through a tricky multiplication problem, it's clear that their friendship and belief in one another are truly something special. Though these girls are very different, they mesh together beautifully, and they derive so much joy from working together and being together. As Upper L students, these girls, like Miss Carrender, are reaching the end of their time at Watts. It's clear that they plan to make the most of that time. There is always something to laugh about with friends. No, really, there's always something to laugh about. It's remarkable that relationships this close and positive can blossom in a class of this size, and it's clear that Miss Carrender has created a safe, encouraging environment. Miss Carrender is obviously well equipped to handle this extraordinary class, but when asked why she volunteered to teach a double-sized class, she grants a lot of the credit to the students themselves.
Just how well they have adapted to the large number and how they seem to be thriving and improving, which is why I volunteered to do that.
Eventually, these special students will walk out of the Media Center and down the halls of George Watts for the last time, taking everything they've learned from Miss Carrender with them as they head off to their next adventure in middle school. Miss Carrender, too, will one day leave behind the school where she has done so much good for so many generations of students. However, there is one thing that will always be true for Miss Carrender and will always be true for these kids.
We are